When you made, you've mentioned a few times Jean Vigo. When you made that, were you particularly trying to pay homage to his style of making film in that movie, or was that not one of the?
No, not really. No, I was just trying to make a film about his love for his wife, which I think was the only reason he ever made a film. Their relationship. That's what I was trying to do. Because he would have died, and they kept each other alive, and gave each other the energy to make those films. But I think because they were so close to dying all the time, that was how they could invent the idea of independent cinema, that you do it yourself, you take the camera off the tripod, you go handheld. All those things that Vigo invented came from this relationship with his wife, and keeping themselves alive and not having any fear of dying, because they thought they were going to die tomorrow, so it didn't really matter what they did. It's a bit like Sid, I guess. But he did it a long time before.
What was particularly inspiring to you, or eye-opening about Vigo, because that's the person who kind of opened cinema up to you?
Well, we had, I'd never seen any movies, and I then went to Cambridge and to study architecture, as one does. And people said, "Have you seen? You got to come see these movies." And the arts cinema in Cambridge had this Godard movie called Contempt, and I went to see it with them, and it opens with Bridget Bardot naked, and the guy works his way up from her toes to her lips. It's the most compelling stuff, And then after that, it was Japanese. To me, I just had no language.
Yeah.
It was a European art movie. It was like it could have been just covered in Japanese subtitles. I had no idea what was going on. And they were like, "Oh, aren't we clever? We love this film. You're an idiot." Oink from some, non-public school. Like, you don't get it, do you? And I was, I don't get it. Like, I just didn't get it. So I went back and saw it about 5 times.
Yeah.
And finally I got it. It was amazing. It's like, listening to language CDs or something.
Yeah.
And if you listen to them enough, you finally get the grammar of it, So then I realized they had 25 movie societies in Cambridge. Each college has a society, and at that time they had 3 16mm prints a week, each college. Amazing. So you could see 75 movies on film.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have one. I was at King's College, I like to call it. But we started one there, and we used to show these films, and just spent all of our time watching these films. It's great. And then in the summer we showed them on sheets up on the roof, and lots of spliff and lots of things. So, and then we had to get the projector on the edge of the parapet to get it far enough away to focus it. And so we were showing L'Attenante, just transfixed by this film. It's such a beautiful film. Not realizing we hadn't spooled it up properly, so it was going down the side of the building into the river. So the whole film went into the river.
Quite poetic in terms of
the water theme, yes.
Yeah.
And then so we had to get a hairdryer off a girlfriend and spend the next 2 weeks frame by frame. So I studied it frame by frame, like drying it, hand drying it.
Yeah.
So I had a great insight into the film.
Yeah. After Absolutely Energy came out, although you said well received in this country, I understand that when you arrived in Hollywood, you were visited by 2 of the biggest stars, certainly one of the biggest stars in the universe, who enacted some of the dance scenes from the. Can you illustrate or tell us?
Well, I wasn't visited there. I was invited to their gaff, up in
and who
the
were these
family
people?
home, the Jacksons.
Michael and Janet.
Yeah, Michael and Janet, who they had a print of Absolute Beginners, and they invited me to come and see them dancing the routines under the screen in their family cinema. So that was hilarious. So at least I made it. I thought, Jesus, I've made it big now. I've seen all I need to see, really. But then they like me, you know, because it's, I don't know why. Some weird thing they have. And Janet wanted to do a video, and I went back again to talk to her about doing this video. This was right when she started out. It's her first video, I think. I don't know. And I went back, and it all changed. There was a real weird. It was weird, you know. It's so weird. Anyway, you know, white servants, gold, everything gold. You know, this record room of Michael's discs that had everything was. The ceiling was gold discs, the walls, the floor, but they were all turning to show off the other ones. You know, so you're in this room, you can hardly stand up. Really, with a big Disney sculpture in the middle. You know, it's like so bizarre. But the time I went back, the vibe was different. There was like tension in the air. Janet was like, "Yeah, well, let's talk about the video." You know, sitting in the, you know, in this big space with a gallery around, and Michael's got his, you know, flu mask on, and he's pacing around like crazy. You know, and outside the window there's this giant Pepsi can in the garden with the giraffes and the animals.
Yeah.
There's like a giant Pepsi can. I was like looking out the window, and he's pacing around, and Janet's saying, "Oh, Joe's coming back. Daddy's coming back today." And Joe Jackson had been on a trip to Saudi Arabia, you know, one of the American colonies, wherever it is, to set up Joe Cola, his own cola, Joe Cola.
Yeah.
And while he'd been away, Pepsi had given this piece of modern art sculpture to Michael, in, you know, respect for what he'd done for them. This huge Pepsi can, like 30 feet tall, piece of art. Right? Michael's thinking, it's art, you know. But Janet said, "Daddy's not going to be happy about this." And while I was there, Joe arrived, saw this fucking Pepsi can, went mad. He was trying to push it into the lake and punching it. And then he got diggers called in, and they were like getting it off the premises. And Michael was saying, "No, go and take it away. You know, they gave it to me, Dad. They gave it to me."
Julian, there's so much more to talk about. Working with Jim Carrey on Earth Girls Are Easy, Drugs with Coleridge on Pandemonium, and Aria and Madonna N. But I'm getting the
big
wind
heave
up.
ho.
So what we want to do, open it up to the floor if anybody wants to take any.